Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Impressions small table lamp. Fullard Impressions, actually. This is the 272674. This is the one that is 22 inches tall. There's also a larger one that is 29 inches tall, and that's the 272678. Watch the video on that one too. So I happen to have one right here, and let's get into a little bit of detail on it. So this is 22 inches tall, like I had said before. You know, it's really important that you watch the Finishes Help Guide video. It's going to be on the page there, a link to it anyway. And this is very heavy forging. That's what we call heavy forging, all of this bent metal. And in that video, we're going to talk about the differences between opaque finishes and translucent finishes, especially on pieces like this. And especially if you're looking at bronze versus oil rub bronze. So one's opaque, oil rub bronze, but the other one is a translucent finish. Bronze, the 05, has been around for a long time, 24 years, 30 years, something like that. But the oil rub bronze has just been around for a year or two, so it's important that if you had bought Hubbardton forge fixtures in the past thinking you've done oil rub bronze, most likely it is actually the bronze, the 05. But watch those videos and play around. I'll talk more about finishes later in this video. Okay, so here it is, 22 inches tall, and that's going to be the top of the fixture. The diameter of this is going to be a 14-inch drum, so that's the largest it is. Footprint is coming in at 8 inches by 9.5. And what else? Let's just take this off. We'll talk about the shade to begin with. So the shade is 14 across the bottom, diameter, right here. It is 13 across the top, so it angles up just a little bit, and it's 8.5 inches directly up. This is the spider. That's the metal part on top that goes on the harp, which is right here. And this is your finial. This will be in your parts bag. This is always going to be in black, and you'll notice that the harp and the socket are always going to be in a gun metal. The inside of this has a really heavy reflective white, basically, that's going to bounce light out. But the cool thing about this is, you know, the top is open, so you're going to get a lot of light going up, hitting your ceiling and bouncing around the room. That's why we have drum shades, to provide a lot of ambient light. I'll also put light down on your book too. Why don't we talk about a couple other things? We'll talk about the really important stuff, is what can I put into this as far as lamping goes. So we have it right here. We notice this is just a traditional A19. This is an LED. You can go up to 150 watts for an incandescent bulb from our past. And that's kind of a legacy thing back when there were three-way sockets. But we're not using three-way sockets anymore. We're using the more advanced, much nicer dimmer in the socket. So this has a computer chip right here that's going to allow this to be a dimmer inside of here. And you'll kind of hear it click on, goes to full power, you'll hear it click off, and it dims all the way up and down. So, that said, you can use LEDs. You can still use incandescents and it'll work with this without a problem. But you know what? There's so many great LEDs out there, and you can get a ton of light out of these LEDs too. So this is an A19 LED. This is the phosphorus one. Those are the clear ones. And then this is kind of an old school one. And both of these are probably 60 watt equivalent, maybe a 75 watt equivalent. I have found the A19s up to 100 watt equivalent at Home Depot. So I know they're there. And actually also at Walmart. But there's a lot of room in here, so check this out. So our A19 will fit in with tons of room in this harp. And there's no limit when you get into LEDs of what you can put in. Your limit is what can I get into the fixture itself. So we play around a little bit and we say, okay, A19 will fit great. How about an A20? So this is an A20, and this is a 100 watt equivalent that I got at Home Depot in a 4-pack in the color I like. And it wasn't that expensive. So that was great, and that fits in just ducky. So we'll put that in. Okay, good. There's still a little room in there. So this is an A21 if you want to go even higher than that. So an A21, will it fit? It'll just fit. So we know that we can put in up to an A21 bulb in this if you do LEDs. And that'll give you almost up to 150 watt easy equivalent. And then it'll also shoot up. If you kind of look online, I found a 200 watt equivalent LED that was an A21. Do you really need a bulb that high? Probably not. Quite honestly, you know, 100 to 150 watt. I think the 100 watt ones that I got, the light was so good that I think that would be appropriate. But you know what? You can try what you need. You know, see what they're like, and then kind of bounce around with these things. The color of the light coming out of these is going to be offered to you in different ways from the manufacturers. So they're going to offer these to you in 2700 Kelvin. That's kind of a super yellow light. They're also going to offer these to you in something called daylight, and we talk about that in every video here. Daylight is a bluish white light, and that's kind of like an overcast day or a hospital waiting room or a convenience store, and that's 4,000 to 5,000 Kelvin on the Kelvin scale. What this is, and probably these two, and what we like to use in our showroom is warm white or soft white, and that's the nice warmth coming down on my hands from these lights above me. So these are LEDs, they're probably this guy from what I can see, and 3,000 Kelvin, warm white, soft white, and I probably picked these up at, probably my grocery store, because you can get these pretty much everywhere. The bigger ones, like the A20s and A21s, are more specialty bulbs, but I can get this at my local drugstore, I can pick it up at a dollar store, I can pick it up at my grocery store, so don't be afraid of where to find these things. So 3,000 Kelvin would probably be what I would want to do, and I'd probably want to do a 100 watt equivalent, and make sure it's dimmable. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you are on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over in the red tabs with the pictures in them over there. You're going to see a Finishes Help Guide tab. Open that up for me. It's going to be a video there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes, how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a chart just down below, so scroll down a little bit. You're going to see a chart. You can click on that chart, so you can click on dark smoke, you can click on soft gold, doesn't matter. Big page will pop up showing you lots of different things in that finish. You can go back to the chart and you'll notice there's letters A's on them, letter B's on some of those things, and that's going to be showing you this range of variants that you can expect to see on different translucent finishes, but I'll talk about all of that in the video, okay? Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. In those same red tabs, you're going to see a What's on Display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.